Hello friends, welcome to Digital Learning. In previous session, we learned about JVM architecture. In the JVM architecture, we learn about class loader subsystem. So basically, class loader subsystem perform three tasks. First one is loading, second one is linking, and third one is initialization. So after loading dot class file, JVM immediately create an object in heap memory for that particular class. So with help of this object, we can get some information like we can get some information about that particular class like fully qualified name, parent class, method information, variable information, constructor information, and constant pool information. In this session, we'll learn about linking. So basically, linking perform three tasks. First one is verify, verify. So basically, in verify phase, it will check three things: either our dot class file binary representation is correct or not. So it will check first things. Second things, our dot class file, either our dot class file is generated by any valid compiler or not. And third one is our dot class file is correctly formatted or not. So basically, in verification phase, it will check three things. So now we will discuss about preparation. So in sorry, now second is preparation. Preparation. Second phase is preparation. In this phase, in this process, JVM will allocate memory for class level static variable and assign default value. So suppose it is our static variable, static integer a equals to 10. So in preparation phase, that static variable assign sorry in static phase sorry in preparation phase, static variable will be assigned a default value. Suppose it is an integer, so it will be assigned 0 value, and if it is a string, it will be assigned a null value. Now our third phase is resolve. Basically, linking perform three tasks: verification, verify, preparation, and third is resolve. Third phase is resolve. In this process of replacing symbol name in our program with original memory reference from the method area. So uh, suppose this is our demo class, and here we are creating two objects. First one is string object, second one is object object. So uh, in this phase, it will create it will loaded three classes. First one is demo class, second one is string class, and third one is object class. So in this phase, it will loaded three classes in memory area. So our next topic is initialization. So in this phase, all static variable assigned with original value. So suppose here we declare a static variable with value 10. So now initialization phase, it will assign default value to original value. Now we will create a summarize. Now we will create a summarized diagram of class loader subsystem. So basically there are three phases. First one is loading, second one is linking, and third one is initialization. So this is our loading phase, second one is linking phase, and third phase is initialization phase. So this is loading, second one is linking, and third one is initialization. So basically in linking phase, it will perform three tasks. First task is verify, second task is preparation, and third task is resolve. So our first phase is verify. So basically it's verify three things. Verify, then second is preparation, and third one is initialization. So now we will learn about types of loader. So basically there are three types of loader. So, so there are three types of loader. Types of our next topic is types of loader. So there are three types of loader. First loader is bootstrap loader, second one is extension loader, and third one is application loader. So our first loader is bootstrap loader, step loader. Second one is extension loader, and the third one is application class loader. Third one is application class loader. So this is our. So basically in bootstrap class loader is responsibly responsibly. So basically bootstrap class loader is responsible to load core Java API. So our it will check in our core Java API. So the bootstrap class loader path is it will sorry the bootstrap class loader path is JDK. In JDK we will get a JRE folder. In JRE folder we will get a library folder, and here in jar library folder it will check for rt.jar file. Then second one is extension class loader. So basically it will get dot class file from JDK folder, then JDK, then it will search for GRE folder, then it will search for library folder, then it will search extension folder, and in this extension folder it will search for .class file, or basically class loader search in our class path. So basically there are three types of loader. We will create a diagram for it. Our first class loader, sorry, this is our first class loader, second class loader, and this is our third class loader. So this is our bootstrap class loader, bootstrap class loader. Second one is extension. Class loader, and third one is application class loader. Third one is application class loader. Application class loader. So basically bootstrap class loader will search all files or all .class file into this path: jdk, gre, library in rt.jar file, and extension class loader will search in this path, and our application class loader will search in class path. So basically it will use our environment variable. So now we will learn, now we will see how class loader works. Basically, now we will create, this is our diagram of, so basically this is the parent class, this is the child class, and this is our sub child class. So now we will learn one by one. So basically bootstrap class loader is responsible to load core Java API classes which are present in rt.jar file, and this location is called bootstrap class path. That is, bootstrap class loader is responsible to load classes from bootstrap class path, and bootstrap class loader is by default available with every JVM, and it is implemented in native language like C and C++. The extension class loader is the child class of bootstrap class loader, and extension class loader is implemented in Java, and corresponding .class file will be sun.misc.launcher, and third one is application class loader. So application class loader is the child class of extension class loader, and this class loader is responsible for loading classes from application path. So it is internally use our class path. So now we will learn how class loader works. Basically, we will understand by a diagram. So basically, this is our bootstrap class loader. Second one is our extension class loader, and third one is our application class loader. So this is our bootstrap class loader. Second one is extension class loader. And third one is application class loader. Application class loader. So this is our class loader subsystem. Class loader subsystem. This is our user. So this is our user. So user will provide data to class loader. Class loader will forward data to, firstly it will forward to application class loader. Then application class loader will delegates process to extension class loader. So first of all, it will forward data to here. Then extension class loader will forward delegate. This is called delegate. Delegate process to bootstrap. Then it will search. Firstly, it will search in path like this is our path, and path will be JDK, GRE, and JDK, GRE, and library. So first of all, it will search here if it is available or not. So here rt.jar. It will search here if it is available, or if you are any kind of classes like object class or string class. So it will first of all it will search in JDK GRE library, then rt.jar file. If it is available, it will be loaded. Otherwise, it will forward request to extension class loader. So here, this is our extension. Suppose if we are using string class, so it will get from here. And if we are using system defined class, so it will move forward to here. Then now it will check in this path. So the path is JDK, GRE, then library, then ext folder, and if it is available here, it will be loaded from here. Means if we use any kind of class which available here, it will load it from here, from this library. And if it is not available here, it will move forward to our application class loader. So this is our application class loader, and it will search in our environment variable. So class path. This is our class path. So this is the basic functionality of any class loader. So here we can use delegate because it's forward delegate. Delegates here, it will delegate here. So suppose now we will learn basic functionality by any program. So suppose system.out.println. Now we will use string dot class dot get class loader. Get class loader. Then second one is we will use demo dot class loader. Then third one is suppose we are creating a class student and void show system.out.println. Hello. Suppose we run this program. First of all, we'll get null because here we are getting null because bootstrap class loader is not a Java object because boot class loader is not the part of Java object. So that's why we are getting null value for string class because it is not the part of our object. And in second, we are getting sun.misc.launcher.application class. So it's using application class loader. So suppose we are forwarding our class to class loader subsystem. So it will forward first of all it will forward to application class loader. Then application class loader will delegate process to extension class loader. Then extension class loader will forward our request to bootstrap class loader. Then bootstrap class loader will check in this path JDK GRE library, and if it is available, it's process. Otherwise, it's further it will delegate process to extension class loader. Then extension class loader will check in JDK GRE and library and extension folder. If the class is available here, it will execute. Otherwise, it will move forward to application class loader. Then finally, application class loader will search class into class path. So, so this is the basic execution of any class loader. So now we have seen how to work class loader subsystem.